Hello, Livestream Legends! Hello, and welcome to another episode of Livestream Legends. Today we are coming at you and showing you how to stream solo like a pro, how you can produce and host a show at the same time. We completely understand that navigating the live stream world can be extremely tricky, especially if you don't have a team surrounding you. So that's what we're tackling today, is how to stream like a pro when you are on your own. I'm going to be going through all the best practices, tips, and advice for you guys today. So welcome to Livestream Legends, where we are becoming Livestream Legends together. That is the point of this show. So let me know if you are in the chat, if you are in the show, fire it up. Let me know you're here, and welcome to Livestream Legends. Let's get it. Mary Davis in the building. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in here. LinkedIn user, I cannot see who exactly it is. Thank you so much for hopping in here. Oh, it's Jackie. Welcome to the party, Jackie. If you all are watching this on the replay, skip ahead a little bit. We're getting started in a second. If you are in the live chat, let me know you're here. Let me know where you're coming in from, and let's get it rocking and rolling. Robert Berry, welcome to the party. Marky B in the building. Yo, good to see you guys. I'll throw the chat up here real quick. Let me know where you're coming in from, where you're tuning in from this morning, as well as we want to know your stream experience. So the goal of this show is to level up together. I admit I'm just rocking and rolling with this streaming adventure. I just started last year, and I'm sharing all my tips and best practices with you guys. And one of the helpful things to know for these shows is what level of experience you're at, or even if you've streamed before at all. So let me know in the chat if you are new to streaming, you're kind of mid-level, or if you're pro. That'll help me adjust the language here so that we are on the same page. But I see we are rocking and rolling. Greg, thank you for jumping in here. Majida in the building. Amazing to see all you guys in here. So thank you guys so much. If you are curious about joining this journey over and over again, we have a Discord community of creatives and creators and streamers that I would love for you to join if you are curious. But we are going to jump into the show. Thank you guys for hopping in here. If you have any questions throughout the show, please do drop them in the chat, and we'll make this an interactive experience so we can hopefully address your personal problems, issues, and concerns, while also expanding our knowledge as a community. So feel free to share your advice, your questions, or just hop in the chat and have a fun time. So thank you for joining me. My name is Travis Lachner. I would love to get going to turn you into a live stream legend. Let's get it, folks. So, starting this party off soon, Andre is mentioning he is a new streamer. Many of us are. Welcome to the party, Mark. Welcome to the party, Barry. Thank you guys so much. Let's get it rolling, because what we're talking about today is how to solo stream and produce at the same time. It's a bit of an art form to be able to do exactly this, but that's what we're jumping into, and I'm gonna try and simplify this down to 3 simple categories, 3 things that you can focus on as a creator, as a streamer, as a producer. Often these are becoming merged into one role. So the first thing we're going to be chatting about today is systems. Systems will absolutely save your soul if you are trying to rock through solo streams and productions on your own. So we'll be going over best practices for that, as well as easy technology and tools that you can utilize. How you can make the technology we have available today work for you rather than against you, which is very easy in the tech world. And then the last thing is addressing the psychology and the mindset that you can have coming into streaming to really maximize the show, maximize the stream or the experience from the viewer side. A lot of it, all of it really is adjusting your mindset to be in the right spot. So we're going to jump into these 3 key pieces today. Let's keep it rolling. Amazing to see the chat popping. Thank you guys. I appreciate all your support. Would love to share this journey with many of you guys. So let's get it rocking and rolling in the first category here that we mentioned, which was systems. And in this context, checklists are a big win. So I'm going to try and keep this as concise as I can today. I tend to ramble, but let me know how the pace and the speed is doing on your guys' end. But let's jump into stream systems that you can use. So the first one, this is something that all pro television productions or live broadcasts always do. They have a run of show, which is essentially an outline of what's supposed to happen during this show. So you can simplify this to be as concise and as minimal as possible, or if you're a person that wants or needs a deep amount of details, this is where you can control it and customize your own experience. So develop a run of show document or checklist that you can actually use on a recurring basis or easily update for every new show. This is something that'll keep you contained within, I like to think of them as bumper lanes. You don't have to hit every single word like you're reading a script. It starts to get robotic. But if you at least have segments or sections to make sure you're going down the list, this will save your soul, as I mentioned earlier, from being overwhelmed. So let's jump into number 2, which is using segments to simplify your show. So what this means is you can set up the show to have 2 or 3 very simple segments that always happen, no matter what. And what this does is it gives you, again, those bumper lanes so that you can navigate within without it needing to be a word-for-word type of production or a word-for-word run-through when you're jumping into it. So simplify the segments of your show to something like a quick intro, like I just did. We have music, hellos for the chat, and a quick rundown for what the show's going to be. And then I have about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of this educational experience. And then the end, we open it up to a Q&A. That gives me a simple formula to know if I hit those 3 things, we're good. I don't need to start adding extra things and new formats and all kinds of things, because oftentimes the more complex you make things, the more often things can go wrong. So that will be a big win to simplify the segments of your show. Now, last piece, JK, not the last piece, third piece, is to systemize and automate promotion or anything else that doesn't happen during the show. This is a big win to clear up mental bandwidth, clear up mental headspace. Because very often when you have a show coming up, you're so focused on, oh my God, did I post this? Did I share the link? Did I get my story up? I'm realizing week after week, there's so many of these things that I need to focus on in order to get the show launched and live and actually have people there. So what I've been focusing on these last few weeks is how can I systemize and automate any other promotion or stuff that's happening before the show. And what this does is it ends up giving me additional bandwidth to focus on stuff like these, the fancy little slides or animations or stuff that's going to happen during the production. So that will be a big win, to systemize and automate as much as you can when it comes to your high level promotion and strategy. So the last piece here is just realizing that this isn't permanent. You can optimize and refine every single show. And what you'll start to discover is the more you do this, the more you'll start to get into a rhythm. I know for myself, it's easy for me to get distracted and want to do 100 things at once. So the debriefing kind of I have after every show is either watching the show through or understanding from other people's feedback. What were little pieces that I could optimize and tighten up? And what this does is it really gives me it gives me confidence in knowing that I don't have to have the perfect show. It's something you can continuously optimize and change and rock and roll each week with getting a little bit better and a little bit more of a groove every time. So that was a big one. And if you are curious about joining these or seeing some of these resources, getting some of these resources, this is what I've been focusing on, not only teaching others, but sharing with our community. So if you would like to participate and be in the loop for resources and checklists and all kinds of stuff that we'll be sharing, please join the email that was just dropped at the Beast Club. We are a bunch of content creators and streamers that are all working together to level up. So I'm sharing resources all the time and would love for you to join. So let's keep it rolling. I see you guys rocking and rolling. Irit, Marky B, Jackie, Nancy. Thank you guys so much. I am attempting to keep this at around 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. But let's jump into category number 2 for optimizing your solo streams. And this is really the premise of utilizing technology and tools to your advantage. What I've discovered in the streaming world is you can do so freaking much between music and scenes and overlays and guests. It's very easy to get out of line and just want to do so much at once. So a really good best practice that I've started to do is simplify my show down to 3 scenes or less. So what this does is this gives me, again, I'm all about being as concise but as impactful as possible. So the lazy version would be just having one scene the entire time. So if I was just in this other camera mode, what is it? Cinema mode, the entire stream, it would be very easy to get boring, and it just starts to feel stale or stagnant. Now, there's a spectrum to this, because the opposite side of this dilemma would be, imagine if I was switching through screens every single time I jumped in here, and then I went to one of these when I got here, and then next time I jumped into the scene, we switched to one of these. And then I went to the next piece of the lesson, and now I'm over here on the right. It starts to get overwhelming. So what I do is I minimize, not listening to my own lessons right now, but that was for an example purpose. Minimize the scenes that I jump to. So I use the chat overlay one with full screen of me, this educational one, and then boom, the full screen of just me. And between those 3 scenes, I can run the entire show knowing I've got a safe little home base between all of those, rather than overwhelming myself with dozens of things you can do. When I jump into OBS, that's a problem I have, is I have multiple shows going, multiple scenes, all kinds of buttons to press, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed by it. But let's keep it rolling as we slowly run out of time. But thank you so much. I see some new people hopping in here. Kirsten in the building. My man Enrique supporting over on Twitch. Thank you guys. What we're going over right now is the best practices for solo producing and streaming at the same time. So let's jump into number 2, which is using an archive of CTAs, calls to action, any links and messages that you need to drop throughout the show. So you guys may have noticed about 5 minutes ago or so, I dropped a link during a relevant moment. And what I've essentially done is actually I can pull it up right here. I have a spreadsheet of all the potential chat messages or links or things that I would need to drop during the show. And now, rather than having to type it all out, which I've had to do before, it's way easier to have an archive of all of the potential links and calls to action that you would use during a show. And what this does is, it minimizes all of the clicky typing noises, which is super distracting from the audio level. It saves time, also saves your focus, so you don't have to worry about typing and making sure the link's right, all of that. If you have an archive of the continuous calls to action and stuff that you want to drop in the chat, having a very simple spreadsheet like this, I just have it up right next to me on the stream, makes it so much easier to contain the chaos while making sure you don't forget anything. This is also something you can integrate with your run of show or your show notes that we mentioned earlier. So think of how you can minimize the total amount of typing and normal work to do. And Jennifer Brick in the building. Marky B still hanging with us. Nancy, so good to see you guys. Always love seeing this chat light up. Even though I'm in kind of one-way communication mode, please know I love and appreciate all y'all. Especially you, Kelsey Lips, jumping in the building as well. All right, getting distracted. Let's keep it rolling. Number 3 is setting strategic bots and commands. This is something that I've started to experiment with both in the Twitch world as well as the community and Discord level. But these robots out here are getting smart, and you need to be utilizing them. You can essentially set up a bot to do almost anything you would want or need in the chat. So a few really good uses for this is if you have a recurring call to action or a primary call to action that isn't going to change, you can set the bot up on a timer. You can set a bot to be in your channel, and every X number of minutes, they can drop a message that says, hey, join here if you'd like to sign up for Restream. So I know for me, I have Nightbot set up to share the Restream studio link. I think it's every 30 minutes or every every half an hour I'm streaming, it'll drop that at some point. So you guys over on Twitch, you might see that link from the robot here in a little bit. Let me know when Nightbot comes to join the party. And now the other thing you can do with bots, rather than setting them on a timer where it's just an automatic message that drops, you can set specific commands. So this one's really helpful for people that stream for an extended duration, or when you have to answer the same thing over and over and over. So the way that you can utilize commands is a way that you can, exactly like Tender Sausage just did, is I have set up a bot that's for the Discord community. So Tender Sausage dropped the command !Discord, and what ended up popping up right after that is this Discord link. So everybody that was on that Twitch channel, if anybody's ever curious or they missed our Discord link, I can say, hey, type !Discord anytime you need the Discord link. And there's so many creative ways that you can set this up. This is just a very elementary, straightforward version of that. But if you start thinking about the creative ways you could utilize that, it becomes great for any stuff that people ask about all the time, and you just can't detract the entire show to jump into that. So having bots ready to go will be really helpful in the context of keeping things tight and keeping your focus very clean. So in that vein, let's keep it rocking and rolling. Thank you guys so much for joining. The last thing that you can do with technology and tools is start integrating it with apps. Integrate your streams with other applications. You can do this through Zapier, I don't even know how it's pronounced, and other ways. A lot of apps similar to like Discord, you can actually integrate directly into your Twitch or directly into your YouTube. This is something I actually even need to improve on my end. But what we could do is have a Discord bot that, or a Discord integration that shares a link every time I go live. It's just something I've been trying to emphasize and be better at, is the promotion of getting people here to the stream. So I've got some brilliant people, Jackie and Teresa, that have been helping me with that promotional support, but it would be even better if that could happen automatically without even bringing people in. So think about what apps and what ways you can integrate your streams into other applications that make sense. So that was category number 2. Let's keep it rolling into number 3. And this was, I know a few of you guys were actually excited for this one, the mindset and the psychology of streaming. This is really what I'm discovering a bigger deal than anything else on the technical side you can learn. But getting into the right headspace and understanding the psychology of streaming and the user experience is going to be a huge win. So the first recommendation for getting your mindset calibrated for streaming is have some type of way to get in the zone. This is something that was super powerful for me when I used to play hockey. When game day was here, so many players, they all have a very wide range of game day rituals. But anything you can do either right before the show or the day of the show that gets you in a rhythm or gets you in the zone will really help you to make sure that when you jump in and you press that live button, you're ready to rock and roll. You're not thinking about all the other things in the day. And that's one of the great things I love about streaming, is this is the closest I've been to flow state since my days of playing hockey and making music. Those are really high flow state type of activities, and I love streaming can send you into that same mindset. So think of what music you can do. If you've got a pump up song, if you have some type of bizarre ritual or stretch or Tony Robbins chest pounding thing, whatever works for you, it doesn't matter. Just find a way that you can get in the zone and consistently be in the proper headspace when you jump into a show. Boy, grabbing a drink break real quick. This is the most I talk like during every week is during this show. So it's like my voice is not ready for it when I jump in here. But thank you guys so much. I see all you guys rocking and rolling with me still. Number 2, what we're jumping into is, this is something I learned from improv, is really understanding that you can accept errors. Like, errors are absolutely going to happen. Little hiccups, little mistakes are part of the journey. There's no such thing as a truly perfect show. It's something that will always be changing, always be evolving. And when you hit a hiccup, the only thing that you can do truly is accept that it happened, take a quick breath, or take a long breath. Doesn't even have to be quick. Don't rush it. Just take a breath, recalibrate, accept that it happened, and simply move on. Just move on. I promise you, the people on the audience side is 90% of the time, they don't even care, and they just want you to keep going and keep rocking and rolling. So your 2 options that you have when you hit a mistake or some type of error, you're embarrassed, you have 2 options. 1, you can just sneak right past it, pretend it never even happened, just take a breath and move to the next moment and continue as usual. I guarantee most people in the stream watching didn't notice or don't care. So don't draw attention to it intentionally and start apologizing. Be like, oh, sorry guys. Oh, I didn't mean to do this. I wish we were late, or I wish we weren't so late. Just blow past it, keep it rocking and rolling, and most people won't even care. So the other alternative option you can do is find some humor in it. Accept that it happens and turn it into an inside joke or a little callback or something. Like, in my case, be like, well, thanks for listening to some live stream advice from the guy that can't even figure out how to run this live stream because of all these stupid mistakes that I made today. There's an easy way to move past it, and I promise you, it's always worse in your head than it is for the reality of everybody else. Most people don't care and won't remember at all anyways. So don't let it detract you from your show. And just remember, just take a breath, breathe, and you're back on track and get it rocking and rolling. So let's keep it moving into number 3 tip for calibrating your mindset, which is very, very simple, and that's asking for help from the audience. So I noticed a few people here were saying the LinkedIn is not doing so great. So what I can do is ask Teresa or Jackie, or if anybody in the audience that has the Twitch link or the YouTube link for this show, if you could share that in LinkedIn for me, so that anybody on LinkedIn that wants to jump ship, that'll be a brilliant way to help the people that are in LinkedIn world catch up to the rest of the world on YouTube and LinkedIn, since I guess it's not lagging, or I guess on Twitch is usually the quickest. But this is a simple way that people, exactly like Jennifer just did, can help. And not only is it something to help you as a streamer, it makes people feel like they're a part of the show and they also helped you in a creative way. So don't abuse this. Don't just be lazy and make other people do it for you all the time. But in the right context, there are always people in the audience that are here to support you. They want to see you win. They want to be a part of this journey. So a simple little task like that, most of the time you'll see people just jump up and they're like racing to see who's the first one to go help. That's a simple crutch that you always have while you're streaming to keep things moving along in a creative way. Now, we are wrapping up. I think we might hit the 30-minute mark pretty closely on this. Last piece of this for your mindset and your psychology is prioritize comfort and confidence. All that really matters when you turn on that live stream and press that button is, can you show up on stream and simply be comfortable and confident in your approach? It's one of those things that's just infectious. If you're if you're nervous and you've got this like scared energy and you're afraid everything's going to go wrong and you're just overloaded with anxiety, people are going to feel that. That's going to come through on the screen. That's going to come through on the stream, and people are going to have that same energy. If you come in confident, guns a-blazing, rocking and rolling, that energy is going to be what's matched either by guests or other people that are joining you, or just simply people in the audience. It's taken me a long time to get to that level, because for a while I thought of it as like a public speaking event. I had to go dress up and have everything right and have my notes prepped and everything. And the more nervous I was, the worse I was on stream. So do anything you can to just be comfortable. I've switched to just wearing the normal clothes I would wear anyways. I still get super nervous and sweat, so I tend to wear darker shirts, black or gray, but it's all about just rolling with it. And even though I am still nervous and have anxiety jumping into these, because of the support and because of that confidence I'm able to throw out there, people just roll with it. People are like, all right, let's do this. This guy knows what he's doing. And a lot of the times I don't, but I roll with it anyways. So this is just another key piece to make sure that you are physically comfortable, you're psychologically comfortable, you're talking about things you like, talking about things you love. Little things like that are really going to change the game for you and help you just be comfortable on camera. That's the beauty of this format, is it's forced authenticity. Exactly how Nancy Barrows just jumped in here. Love how real you are. And all I'm doing is just rolling with things one at a time. I'm just truly comfortable with you guys now, and it comes through in a really special way. So that is our last section for the 3 primary pillars to focus on. And I've got a little bonus round here for you guys that are curious about either if you're starting streaming or you're already streaming right now. This is something I'm just going to load you up with a few show styles that work really well for solo streaming. So these 4 show styles or even segments, you could have multiple, are very easy to manage as a solo streamer. The first one, which is just an AMA, an Ask Me Anything, super simple, just like these questions here in the hey, there's our Nightbot on the auto timer. Call back. Boom. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Gareth, appreciate your support. I see you rocking and rolling over on YouTube. I'm glad to see more and more people over there. Thank you guys so much. If you're tuning in from the YouTube channel, let me know. I recognize a lot of the people from LinkedIn and Twitch, but I see we have some lurkers on YouTube. Would love to just hear from you briefly, drop a quick little comment, and let me know you're here. So as we wrap up, I'm just going to give you guys a few more stream segments you can steal. The next is an interactive game. This is number 2 here for the solo stream segments you can steal. Something like trivia or an easy participation game. This is something that you can easily do. Turn on the stream, play some trivia, and it just makes for this very casual environment. There's not a ton of pressure on you as the streamer to be like, entertain us, dance, monkey, dance. Although I do that every once in a while for special celebrations. But in general, it's one of those things that if there's an activity or something happening, that's where most of the focus is, and you can just casually manage what's going on. So give it a shot. Think of what you can do with your audience in a simple, engaging way. Now, let's jump to number 3, which is a deep dive case study or review. This is something that you can do in a very simple way where your expertise pretty much does all of the work for you. So if you have a client case study a public review. Like if you are a web designer, you could easily just go review somebody's website online, go through it and be like, yay, so here on this page, they could have a smaller headline and a bigger button. Little stuff like that where your expertise is really the core of it. It's not on you to plan or prep or do anything. It's just you jumping into something that you know or love really well and just talking about it and going as deep as possible into the details. This is essentially kind of what I do with this show. I love the concept and the technology and the high-level strategy of streaming. So jumping in here each week, I can just go deeper and deeper and deeper into this. And I mean, I guess this week I'm trying to consolidate it, so let's keep rocking and rolling. But it is one of those things that makes it really easy. And this last show segment we're going to chat about is also in the same vein. And that is having a hobby or passion or art stream of some sort. And the goal here with this style is to do something you would already be doing anyway. So this is brilliant for artists and creators. I know we have people here that do canvas art. Charlie Powers here does some brilliant art streams. Nick Lozano in here does woodworking. That would be a brilliant thing that you could stream. And what it does is it really lowers the pressure again, because you're simply doing something you love and you enjoy. And it just lowers the barriers, makes it super simple to jump on stream, and that infectious passion for what you're doing, people are just going to love being a part of it. And even better for content creators or people that have communities following them, this is a strong community builder because people now feel like they've been a part of this experience. So seeing a piece of artwork go from a blank canvas to a finished piece, now when they see that finished piece other places online or wherever it's at, they know they were there. They were there for that journey, stroke for stroke, every little detail of it. And there's just something truly special about being there for that moment that isn't matched by any other platform. So that is the last stream segment you can steal. And ultimately, this all just leads down to how you can jump in and get started. I could go chat for theory for weeks and months, perfecting your strategy, but really all you need to do is jump in. So I encourage you to please, if you have been even slightly a little tiny bit curious about streaming, start the journey today. If you want to just get going with a super simple format or super simple stream like the ones we just went over, click the Restream Studio link in this description, and that will get you started. You can sign up for Restream. It's free. You can sync all your accounts and get started. That's the easiest, quickest, most simple way to get going. But if you would like to jump into a higher level experience, we have put together something for launching your own show. We're calling it a live stream production master camp. And it's essentially a master class combined with the boot camp experience. And what this does is it gives you all of the foundational elements in the master class that are accessible forever. All the tech stuff and setup and strategy. And then the boot camp experience is literally taking you week to week to week until your show launches. So we have that set up as a 5-week program for you to hit your systems, your strategy, your processes, and then your show launch. We are there with you the entire time. So if you are curious about that instead, would love to have you in what we're calling the Beast Camp. So DM me directly if you're on LinkedIn. We've got a URL, thebeast.camp. That we can drop here in the chat, and that's pretty much what we're offering at the moment to what we have. When are you going to offer website embedded? This might be a Restream question, so I think you actually can set the RTMP. So I guess we're jumping into the Q&A section, folks. This is our open Q&A for any questions you have about streaming. That's also part of this experience, is sharing the journey together, and any insights and intel that I have, happy to share. So if you do have a question about anything we chatted about today, or streaming and producing as a whole, drop it in the chat. We are always happy to have you here, and we'll chat about it. So as we were mentioning, I think Jonathan is mentioning the RTMP feed that you can essentially embed into a website. So this is one of the things that you can do with streams, rather than it landing. Right now, we're just at destination platforms like LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, where it's on a social platform that's synced. The other thing you can do that John is mentioning here is syncing your stream to a website or a page that you own. This is typically more difficult for people to join and participate as far as chat or conversations. But this is a really brilliant way for if you have some type of special event or a branded event that's really more of a viewing experience, you can embed that into your website. So that's a really powerful thing that you can start expanding where exactly your streams land. And yeah, I think if anybody else wants to jump in here real quick for a question, I will start browsing the commentary and throw on a little something for the background. So thank you guys so much. This technically was the presentation part's over, but I'm sneaking into some quick questions if anybody's got them. Anybody that snuck in here without saying hello, thank you for joining. Please do join our Discord community of streamers, content creators. We'd love to have you. But I'm going to jump into the comments. Bailey Moore, hello. Welcome to the party. This is a good question. Majida, can I set Restream to stream to Facebook business page instead of personal? Yes, you can, Majida. So with Restream Studio or any Restream syncing that you are doing, you can stream to your Facebook personal page, your company page, as well as groups. So you should be able to use any of the above. You just have to make sure when you're in the Restream settings to sync that up. And there's going to be different options. I think the groups and pages, they show up in a different section than just the Facebook's Facebook personal profile. So that should be doable in Restream. You just got to make sure you're sitting on the right section for that setup. Hello, the Crafter, rocking and rolling over on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. I am seeing if anybody else has snuck a question in here. Bailey is asking, am I supposed to remember every single thing? No, Bailey, the brilliant thing we've got here is all of these streams are actually archived. So this Livestream Legends show that I've been running actually has a complete archive of prior videos that you can rock through, including this one. So that's one of the beauties of all the streaming platforms, is it's technically there forever, for better or worse, and you can go back to all of that. So we have wrapped up the official version of the show. We're just chilling now in the Q&A, answering some questions like Kyle here asking for a best webcam recommendation. My current go-to options are the Logitech C920, I believe is the model name, or the very similar version. It's under $100. I think they're normally like 40 to 60 depending on how in stock or out of stock they are. But that is the best budget webcam for sure. That'll get you to 1080p HD, which is full HD, and is also gives you full control over all of the settings that you need to start looking crisp. So yeah, the webcam I would recommend is the Logitech C920 if you're on a budget. If you are looking to take it one step higher than that, the Logitech Brio can actually jump all the way to 4K video, which is honestly at this point almost redundant. I mean, it's good for I guess recorded videos and recorded content, but most streams can't even jump, like LinkedIn can't even jump to 1080. So the jump to 4K is a little bit excessive, but it is a brilliant webcam. The other thing I love about the Logitech Brio is you actually can control the field of view, which is the angle essentially of what the webcam sees. So in this context, I've tightened it up. I'm gonna see if I can open up Logitech G Hub. If the stream crashes, I am sorry. Thankfully, the show's over, but I'm gonna try and give a quick little example of how helpful the field of view, controlling the field of view actually is. Because depending on the room that you have, it's one of those things that can basically, here we go. So this is the widest field of view currently possible on the Logitech webcam. So you can see here, this is a little bit wider, full 90-degree view of the room. The one I've chosen is a little bit more tightened up here in this context. And the other option for the field of view is far more narrow. So this is going to be great for broadcast style stuff, or if you're going like news anchor, don't need a lot of body language going on. So I've kind of landed here in the middle, but that field of view is something super easy to control without needing to move your webcam further and a little to the left and here to the right and all that, just because that can get messy in sometimes. So yeah, brilliant question. Thank you for asking, Kyle, I believe that was. Here we go. Gareth is asking, can I have animated lower thirds on Restream? That is a amazing feature request. Then I'm gonna forward this request to Restream, Gareth, because I am with you on that. That would be brilliant. At the moment, they do kinda, sorta have these animated. They're not motion animated lower thirds, but the actual, what's it called? This thing that pops up here is animated when it goes on and off the screen. So this kind of is a way to do that, either with captions or with the comments. They're semi-animated. And then the other thing that you'll see here that they've added in Restream is animated backgrounds, which are unusually impressive for such a simple stream. Let me show you guys what exactly that looks like. These, let me get this off. Come on. Trying to show the background. Oh, come on. There we go. So there's this subtle animated background that you can now add, I think, with video files or GIF files, where it adds just a little bit of motion. So maybe not the animation you were looking for exactly, Gareth, but when you design your own. Gotcha. So when you design your own, not at the moment, no. One of the things they are trying to do is minimize the total number of sources and features and things to click on each stream. So that has been minimized. That, I believe, is the end of the line. I'm going to see if any other questions snuck in here, but we are good to go. Will is mentioning, yeah, he doesn't notice the difference jumping to 4K from a 1080p is already phenomenal, good quality. It's just one of those things that at the highest level, you can jump to that 4K, but I agree, Will, not a huge purpose to jump into there. Morrow is loving the bonsai tree, the signature little bonsai here. All right, I think that is gonna be the end of the line here. Oh, just kidding. One quick more little question he snuck in here. How to set the audio background during the live stream. So as you guys may have noticed, when I jumped into the 4K, or 4K, I got 4K on my mind, what the hell? This Q&A, I turned the music back on just for a little subtle background music. And the way I'm doing this is through a audio mixer. This is the complex way of doing it, is you can set up multiple channels of audio that I can now control if I want to turn the music up. Have quick little fade outs. I also have effects and some of that other stuff routed into the audio mixer. So that's the advanced version of doing it. But thanks to Restream Studio, they actually have added a portion where you can, I'm gonna try and get trippy with the screen share and see if I can share my screen while streaming. This might get very Inception-like in a second. So Usama, I'm gonna show you how easily you can do this in Restream, because they've actually made the background music super simple to start. So from the studio, you can see this add source button here within Restream, and you simply go to background music. As you, I'll have other sources here, as you can tell. And they have pre-sorted genres that you can select and simply add as background music. So that's one of these brilliant ways Restream is just stepping ahead of the game as far as some of these other competitors and other tools. But they're figuring out every feature you need and adding it. So that used to be way more complex and difficult to do. But if you are curious about doing it, Restream Studios simplified it. Or if you're curious about doing it at the pro level, would love to have you walk through our master camp that we've been mentioning, that will essentially load you up with anything and everything you need to do as a live stream producer, either as a solo streamer for yourself or for producing other people's shows. So that is officially, I know we've had a couple endings here. Now we are ending the show. So thank you guys so much for participating. I appreciate everybody joining over and over. What we're gonna do is jump into this week after week after week until you become a live stream legend. So let's fire up the chat if you had a good time. Thank you so much. Would love to see you in our Discord, any of our communities here that it seems we got multiple channels rocking and rolling. So thank you guys all for joining, everybody on LinkedIn, YouTube, and a big thank you to the Restream team for continually rocking and rolling. Thank you guys so much for joining Livestream Legends. We'll catch you next week. Thank you for joining. Take care, y'all.